Holy shit, you guys, this is huge. Not sure if you've seen it yet, but it looks like we finally officially got confirmation that Bart Allen, aka Impulse, will be making his way over to the CW's Flash show later this season.
Jesus Christ, your timing is so bad.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna do a video about this when the news was fresh like a month ago, but I kinda dropped the ball on that one. I really need to hire a writer for this channel. Anyways, I remember when there were all these rumors and talks that Bart was going to show up even all the way back in season 2, which obviously didn't happen, so it's kind of cool that we'll be seeing him in the show's 150th episode, which I think is like this season's 17th episode or something, even if the character description in the announcement kind of makes it sound like we'll just be seeing Nora 2.0. Future child, totally impulsive, has to learn to slow down and be a better hero so he can help stop some big bad that season. Jeez, where have I heard that one before? Having said that though, what if I told you that this description, plus a couple other details scattered throughout some of the other episodes, might actually confirm that something really cool is on the horizon, something that a lot of people, myself included, have been theorizing would be happening for a few years now. Like what if I told you that we might finally be seeing none other than the Tornado Twins making an appearance in the Arrowverse? Or at least a version of them anyway. Just in case you're not completely caught up on your Flash lore, let me explain. The Tornado Twins are a speedster duo from the 30th century made up of Barry and Iris's twin children, named Dawn and Dawn Allen, because apparently Barry and Iris aren't really all that creative in the baby naming department, I guess. Now, even though the twins never really had the biggest presence in the comics themselves, it has been heavily hinted for the past few seasons that we would eventually be seeing some form of the twins at some point in the show. Now, I already covered a lot of this in my earlier Tornado Twins theory video a few years ago, but here's a rundown of the evidence we've gotten up till this point. In the Season 4 premiere, The Flash Reborn, Barry starts babbling about a ton of different things after coming out of the Speed Force, referencing both past and future events, like his first meeting with Oliver after receiving his powers, and the things he said in court before going to jail. To date though, the only coherent thing he said that hasn't come true yet was the sentence, "We're gonna need more diapers."
We're gonna need more diapers.
At the time, Barry and Iris apparently only had one child, that being Nora, so a lot of people took that phrase as a sign that Iris would make a pregnancy announcement in either Season 4 or 5. Clearly this never happened, and a reaction like this wouldn't make any sense if they just had one kid anyway, so these two were obviously being set up for twins later in the show. We also got a confirmation from Eobard in the 5th season episode, What's Past His Prologue, that Barry and Iris were originally meant to have a daughter named Dawn in the timeline he's from, obviously a direct reference to the twins.
It's, Dawn, if I'm not mistaken.
And finally, during an interview at the San Diego Comic-Con before the start of Season 6, showrunner Eric Wallace sorta hinted that we would see Nora return to the show as a part of the Tornado Twins.
Is there absolutely not a repercussion that we might be ever see her return?
Oh yeah. We're a time travel show, of course. While there are no immediate plans for that, we would definitely love to have Jessica back. She was terrific on the show, just a blessing to join us, and we do have some weird hints this season that you may or may not pick up about how she might return. So keep an eye out for that.
Tornado Twins, yourself?
No, I'm not saying a word.
But hold on a minute, you might be saying. How does any of that prove Bart and Nora are the Tornado Twins? Hell, one of them straight up got erased from existence just a couple seasons ago. How do we know Barry and Iris aren't still just having one kid? Like Bart isn't just replacing Nora in the timeline, like the whole John Jr. Sarah switcheroo after Flashpoint. Well, besides the Eric Wallace interview and the earlier hints proving the twins exist in this universe, we do know that a major universe change like Crisis can both bring dead people back to life, like with almost all of Barry's rogues gallery, and add a couple kids to someone's family, like we saw with Clark and Diggle's families. So it's not hard to believe Nora could be alive again and have a brother this time around. We already know she's alive and kicking anyway, thanks to one of the future visions Wally mentions having in the Season 6 episode Death of the Speed Force.
When I used to talk with the Speed Force, sometimes it would show me visions of different futures, different possibilities of how things could go. I saw Nora.
And as confirmed on Twitter somewhat recently, actress Jessica Parker Kennedy has been seen on set with some of the other speedsters on the show, Bart included. So clearly Nora is hanging around in some way, shape, or form, and if she's palling around with Bart, then it makes sense to assume that the two might be working together as future superheroes. But maybe the biggest hint we've gotten recently is the one from the 5th episode this season, titled Fear Me. In that episode, Barry and Team Flash go up against the Sage Force user Psyche, who terrorizes Central City by making people experience their worst nightmares. In Barry's case, we see all of his friends and family dead before Iris pops back up and says, "When you let me die, you killed our children too."
When you let me die, you killed our children too.
Now to be fair, it's unclear whether or not Barry knows for sure that Iris is pregnant yet, or whether or not she actually is pregnant, given that this was just a really powerful hallucination, but it does make me think the writers are trying to build up the idea that Iris is in fact pregnant with twins this season. If she is, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go with a pregnancy reveal like the Young Justice episode Bloodlines, with Iris and Barry discovering they're expecting twins thanks to Bart spoiling the moment for the two of them.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Aunt Dawn.
Wait, there are two in there?
We're having twins?
Oops. Spoilers.
And if you're still not convinced, then think of it this way. Like I said earlier, the comics featured Dawn and Don Allen as the superhero brother and sister team. Eventually though, they each settled down and started their own families, with Dawn the brother having a son named Bart Allen, and Dawn the sister having a daughter named Jenny Ognetz, both of which were/are inspirations for Barry and Iris' kids in the Arrowverse. Keeping this in mind when you think about all the other stuff I said earlier in this video, it definitely seems like the writers are trying to simplify the Tornado Twins' backstories and flesh them out a bit by making them either fan favorite characters or pre-established ones people already know in the show.
So does that mean we've already seen one of Barry's children? Could we be seeing more of Barry's children that we know from the comics possibly?
Not this season, but we do discuss that on a pretty regular basis, and I hope in the seasons to come that we will be able to do that. It's something that I would really like to know.
Either way, I'm super pumped to see this version of the Tornado Twins, and I'm really excited to see what all happens when The Flash reaches its 150th episode later this season. But anyways guys, that's my take on how Bart's arrival could set up the Tornado Twins in an upcoming episode of The Flash. If you guys agreed with anything I said in this video, or if you have your own thoughts you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.